Have you ever wondered what Pharrell's story would look like through the lens of Legos? Me neither. Here is my review of Piece by Piece, Pharrell's new Lego biopic.
Woo! Holy moly, guacamole. Legendary story, yeah?
This movie, of course, stars Pharrell Williams, as well as a ton of other artists, producers, CEOs, directors, again, under this lens of Legos. This movie takes us through Pharrell's entire journey, through the Neptunes, through all of his different facets and lanes that he has done throughout his entire career, the Billionaire Boys Club, producing for many different artists, becoming his own artist and producer, his journey through finding the Despicable Me single, anything you can think of as regarding Pharrell, we kind of go through it and see it all play out in this movie. I gotta give it to him. It's a really creative way to do a biopic. I don't think I would have gone if it was just a regular interview type of situation or a reportrayal of Pharrell's story. I'm not that interested in Pharrell to go watch a movie that's just all about him. But put it behind some Legos and I'm in. I really wanted to start by saying this. I want to get this out of the way really early. If you are planning to take your 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kid to this movie and hope and just get some peace and quiet and distract them, it's not going to happen in this movie. The way this movie is set up is, if you've ever seen the Netflix cartoon, The Midnight Gospel, this movie is ran exactly like that. So The Midnight Gospel is a podcast that then gets reimagined and visualized through cartoons.
We live in a universe in which time exists, and therefore everything will disintegrate and be gone. And the suffering of that is unbearable.
Yeah, when my teacher started teaching me, the first thing he said is, I want you to know this. And Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, my teacher, said to me, and he meant this. And I remember he looked me right in the eye.
So basically the audio that they get from the podcast, they extract that and make a little cartoon story over it with that same audio. This movie is doing exactly that. It's not its own, like, produced, imagined movie where there's highs, lows, ups and downs. No, someone is just interviewing Pharrell and his friends, and the director made visuals for it, which I personally enjoyed. I wasn't like the hugest fan of it because I could notice it right off the bat. But once I kind of accepted that and it was just kind of watching a documentary almost, I was able to enjoy it a little bit more. But for those parents who are planning to take their kid to this movie this weekend and have them be entertained and distracted, it's not going to happen. It's very an hour and a half of just Pharrell talking. The visuals are crazy. It looks really cool. Anytime it's a Lego movie, it's going to look good. It's going to be fun to watch and to look at again. But the actual content itself can get a little boring for those child audiences. Not for me, but for child audiences. So I did want to get that out of the way. When we watch or when we hear Lego movies, like the Lego Batman movie or Lego movie 1 and 2, dude, it is the most like in-your-face movies ever. There's explosions, there's jokes, there's humor, there's a lot going on all the time from start to finish. I work with kids, and anytime I put that movie on, they are sad. They're watching that movie. So if you are thinking you're going to take your kid to this movie and get that same thing, you're not. The Lego charm isn't fully there. I hate to say it, but the Lego charm that brings the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movies to life, that charm, that perfect humor, that spot-on humor is not in this movie. And the only reason I'm saying that is because, of course, it's a Lego movie, and that's kind of what we are known to expect now after, 4 Lego movies being out now? So that to me was a little disappointing. I was expecting to see kind of Pharrell's journey, like kind of with different people voice acting and seeing it through, but there is literally an interviewer, a Lego interviewer, interviewing Pharrell, and he's kind of recollecting his whole life and his journey and everything, and we're watching it play out through Legos. It's almost like a music video. With that being said, though, the way they kind of visualize the documentary or the interviews is done really well, and it's really creative. I enjoyed watching. It was beautiful to look at. And the creativity that you are expecting in a Lego movie is there. The whole idea behind Legos is building and creating and trying new things and engineering new Lego pieces. You know, that all of that is infused in this movie. Everything that they visualize is really beautiful to look at. Even the way they visualize just music and the bass, it's really, really, really cool. And it just kind of touches my brain in the right way. And one of my favorite things about this movie is, again, Pharrell's a producer. He makes beats, right? For the most part. And the way that they kind of visualize him coming up with a new idea or a new beat, it's kind of reminiscent of Inside Out when there's a core memory, but it's like a bouncing little Lego piece. It looks really cool, and they did a really good job of that. So, yes, it is a documentary. It's a visual for a documentary, but the way they visualize is done expertly well. It's crafted really well. It's very taken care of and well thought out. So that part of it is really good. Last thing, as far as parents who are watching this review who are planning to take their kids to see it, there are some pretty adult themes at times. Very winked at and hinted at. So I think if a child is watching, they're not going to notice. But there's alcohol consumption, there's weed consumption or nods and this and that. And there's this whole section at the end about Black Lives Matter and police and all this stuff, which is important for a child to see, but some parents might not want to expose their children to that. They kind of go over the whole Black Lives Matter movement. But again, super beautiful way, but just kind of a warning for those parents out there who are going to take their kids to go see this movie. Now, with that being said, let's take it back and review the movie itself. For me, how did I enjoy it? How did I like it? How did I perceive it? I liked it. I don't think it was fit to be like a movie, maybe like a Netflix documentary. I don't know. It just didn't. I feel like it didn't deserve the theatrical release. I don't know. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. I learned a lot. I definitely was inspired and motivated. Seeing Pharrell's journey is super inspiring. Seeing all the things that he had to go through, the things that the boundaries that he pushed, all these new doors that he opened for different artists and for himself, the creation of the Neptunes and everything behind that. All that stuff was really cool to see, really cool to watch, and really cool to learn about. But I'm not entirely sure it deserved a whole movie. I will say that the content of this movie was very, very, very important. Now, me as a white male who hasn't had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, per se, for someone who is black in this country, especially for a teenager or a kid, to see this is really important. There are heavy themes in here where Pharrell talks about being black or feeling left out or not really being able to fit in and him doing him anyways. Like, that's really important for someone to see, especially a kid who might be feeling those sorts of things. They go through the whole Black Lives Matter movement and how Pharrell felt it was important for him to stand up and to do something and to make a difference. They talk about the whole Kendrick Lamar All Right music video where it's kind of anti-police and things like that. So a lot of these themes are really, really, really important, and I was not expecting that for a Lego movie, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of refreshing. I thought it was cool. It all goes into the documentary kind of style of this movie, but that was really cool to see. This might be a hot take, right? This movie, obviously, it's about Pharrell. This guy is the music mogul. He made so many songs of our childhood, of pop culture in general, man. Pop It Like It's Hot by Snoop Dogg. A ton of Justin Timberlake songs, a bunch of Usher songs. It's time all night to get lucky, to come on, get happy. He did all these crazy radio hit songs that we are familiar with. Of course, it's going to be a very music-heavy, music-infused movie, but I promise you, they didn't let more than 30 seconds go by without some sort of background music going on, one of his songs' instrumentals. And to me, that kind of got a little old. I feel like we weren't like watching a story to watch a story. It kind of felt like a whole promotional music video. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of that. I just couldn't get a second to where there was no music playing. Again, that's the whole point of the movie. It's about music. The whole movie is supposed to be very infused with music and sounds and bass. But it was just, you couldn't get 10 seconds without hearing something in the background. Boom, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Like, when, you know, the instrumentals to his songs. That to me got a little old. And how could I talk about piece by piece a movie about Pharrell if I'm not going to talk about the music? The music was there. It was a lot of it, but the music was there. His original songs, his past songs, being able to hear some of the songs of my childhood, the No Doubt songs. You want to get dancing. Come on, get lucky. Come on, my get lucky. He made a lot of good songs, and when they do put the songs there and his original music, piece by piece, it's good. The music is good. It's there, and it does invoke the emotion that it's trying to make you feel. But yeah, the music is great. I love the credit song. I love the Piece by Piece song. I was blasting it on the way home, thinking about this movie. All right, the music that is there, it's solid. It's good. It's a little bit much. They kind of hit you over the head with the music, but when they do a scene and it's just based on a specific song and the song is blasting, that's when it does good. And I felt like that's where they should have kind of left it. But instead, you're hearing about Pharrell's journey, and in the background again, it's just instrumentals, and it got a lot. But very cool to see. Overall, this movie was good. It was good. It wasn't amazing. I wouldn't even say great. It was just good. The big thing for me is I love music, and to see the background of Pharrell and the background of a lot of these hit songs and the side conversations and the exposition from the artists that were a part of Pharrell's life and that helped him become who he became, and also seeing the people that Pharrell helped become who they became, it was really interesting to see. I love that kind of insight. I love documentaries, and I loved hearing everything about his story. It was genuinely interesting, and again, very inspiring, very motivational. I liked it, and I think it's for the kids that can handle it, for the kids that can, for the kids who aren't on their iPad all day, for the kids who can sit down and kind of digest a movie like this with heavy themes, for a movie that is kind of speaking directly to maybe a child who has ideas and who is creative. I think it's going to make a big impact on them. It's a very inspiring story, and his journey is very inspiring. So for the kids who are able to sit down and watch a almost 2-hour movie about an inspirational journey, I think it's going to mean a lot. I think it's going to, make an impact and make a difference in their life. I want to show this movie to some of the kids that I work with to hopefully spark something in them. I don't know. I thought that this movie did what it set out to do. I just don't think it was marketed the way that it should have been. This movie kind of felt like the next Lego movie, the next Lego Batman movie. I thought it was going to be, a lot more boom, 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 like fast, explosions, funny, but it was just a documentary. I just felt like I got a little bamboozled on that account. All that being said, my final rating on this movie is a 5 out of 10. Piece by Piece. Did you like this movie? Are you planning to see it this weekend? Please let me know in the comments what you thought about it. If you like this review, like, subscribe, argue with me in the comments. I love to argue. It's one of my main things I love to do. I love to debate and talk about movies. So if you have any discrepancies, please let me know below. I am going to edit this review really quick and go watch Terrifier 3 tonight. So if you plan on watching that movie, you want to see the review, it should be out tonight. So be on the peep for it. Side note before I let you go. When I was going to buy my ticket, the ticket guy was like, hey, just to let you know, this movie is going to be a little bit hard to get through. And I said, why? And he said, because they put it together piece by piece. Boy, if you don't...